Well, today I would like to introduce a new friend, and go ahead and tell us your name and kind of what you do, and share your experiences that you've had with some of the Shaklee products so far.
Certainly, my name is Fabian Trujillo. I got a chiropractic degree 2 years ago, and back in the mid 90s, I was sponsored by Shaklee, and I was only a consumer of the products back then. I used to be a cyclist professionally, so they sponsored me for about a year and a half, and back then the products that I used were mainly just the performance and the muscle builder and things like that, just for athletes. A couple of multivitamins, and they were phenomenal. They worked great back then. When I stopped being sponsored by them, I stopped using them just because I wasn't getting them and I wasn't interested in buying the product through a distributor. Long story short, fast forward in my life, I went to chiropractic school, graduated and all, and I see a bike rider going through the neighborhood the other day, actually about a month ago, which is about how long I've been with Shaklee now, recently. And so it clicked in my mind, what happened to Shaklee back then in the 90s? So I called them, and I know back then you could only get them through a distributor and retail. So I said, why not integrate them into the office, right? The products. And so I did.
You knew they were good.
That's right. That's right. I always know they're great.
Exactly.
I just put it in the back of the mind, and it just clicked that way right away when the cyclist went through the neighborhood that day. So I called the 800 number. They contacted me with somebody here in Houston, and he introduced me to the whole business aspect behind it now, and which is now it's a phenomenal business project. And I've been using it in the office now. One of my patients has I guess you can say limited range of motion on the left shoulder in the scapular area, and I gave him some glucosamine. After about 5 treatments I've been seeing him, he was getting the range of motion back and all, but it was a process. It's a slow process.
So what kind of glucosamine was this? Was this Shaklee?
It was Shaklee glucosamine,
right? Complex.
Exactly, okay. The joint complex. And forgive me, I'm still learning all the names
That's
with
okay.
Shaklee, but
no
but I did gave him the joint complex, and he came back after 10 days of using the product, and he said that he had felt a dry spot around the left scapular area, almost like I guess when you don't have enough lotion or so, the way he described it. And he said that dry spot that he had felt was gone. I tested the range of motion, was completely restored, which actually gained him about another 5 more treatments or so. So he was completely restored. Yeah, he's coming back still, but only for maintenance, not even for the treatment anymore.
So how long normally would this take to heal? I mean,
it depends on the injury. Let's say somebody fell from a ladder, maybe 4 feet high, and he fell on the shoulder, and he loses some of the range of motion. And in a trauma like that, maybe it would take about 12 visits. If somebody who maybe is a painter and loses some of the range of motion through work or so because of the excessive use, something like that might maybe take 6 to 8 visits. So, in a way, if you're a painter and you're using something like this, you might only come in for maintenance instead of therapy. So
it saves you money.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And less treatment.
There you go.
So you've seen. Have you used other glucosamine products in your practice?
I've used a glucosamine myself. I've noticed a difference because obviously, as a chiropractor, you gotta keep moving bodies left and right and adjusting and the positions we get into and all, physically with with the adjustments. And I felt less tired, and I felt even more limber. In fact, while I'm treating the patients, and it's a good product.
Experienced some great results with the.
Oh yes, and I've used other companies before as well, and the other companies are nowhere near as good as Shaklee. And I'm not just saying that right now, but I've seen the results way faster and much cheaper than other companies.
In the past, you probably used something like Standard Process.
I've used Standard Process before, and they're not. It's a good company, Standard Process, but they don't have the 100% money back guarantee like Shaklee does. And some of the products have been on recall as well, or for a Standard Process, and they don't take. They take much longer. They're much more expensive because, for instance, the glucosamine, you have to take 2 or 3 different types of glucosamines with it, glucosamine plus the Bs and all that in order to work. Versus Shaklee only has the one glucosamine, which also includes some of the other vitamins as well. So
you've seen some great results with your patients
Oh, yes.
as well as yourself.
Oh, yes.
Have you personally used the Vivix product yet? Or
I've used the Vivix a couple of times. I haven't, like I said, I've only been with the company a month, and I just ordered my personal bottle of Vivix.
Right.
But the couple of times that I've used it, you definitely feel a difference instantly.
Right.
And I'm talking within the hour. Right.
Right, because it does multiply mitochondria,
Exactly.
which is the energy
It
for
repairs the
cell.
DNA, and the cells that are dying, it gives them life in a sense.
Right.
So in a sense, the studies that I've seen, it gives more energy in the fact that somebody, let's just say, throw a number out there, who's 80 years old, they will feel, look, and act as somebody who's 50.
Right.
So yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right.